Welcome guys, and day before Christmas. Mother Nature's put it on for us today too. About 25 degrees, 26 degrees. Bit of a slight westerly breeze. Beautiful weather indeed. Especially after the crap we've been getting. We had thunderstorms and hail like 2 days ago. So a bit of a reprieve for harvest anyway, which has barely even started. Today I'm making a Pavlova. I'm going to attempt to make it on the Weber. You're looking for about 150 ml, roughly 160 ml of egg white. Room temperature. Don't use fresh eggs. You want eggs that are probably, oh look, 4 or 5 days old. Don't ask me why, it's just what I've always been told. So yeah, so I'll go with that. So, egg whites. And I'm going to hang on to these yolks because I'm going to make a custard as well, because my mum's making an apple pie. It's my my nan's old recipe, which I will do one day for the camera. It is easier to separate the eggs when they're cold. It's the other way people like to separate them. They literally do it through the fingers. Like you just go through like that. I think it's messy, to tell you the truth. It does work. Alright. I'll get myself a paper towel. Now, there's not much to a Pav as far as ingredients go. Egg whites, caster sugar, vinegar, bit of white vinegar, and a little bit of corn flour. That's your basis, and then just a lot of work, especially off grid. Aiming for soft peats at this stage. Now I've got the Weber preheating at the moment. Aiming to try and get around that 170 degrees. And then once I chuck the Pav in, I'm going to drop that temperature right back. Alright, so we've got softish sort of peaks going on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start incorporating the caster sugar. You need to do this a little bit at a time. So roughly a tablespoon at a time, and I always get a little bit impatient at this stage. I start adding a bit too quickly. Especially when you're doing it by hand, because your arm's absolutely buggered by the end of it. When you're working with a Weber, you've got to think of your heat source. Now all the heat from this is coming from the bottom. So what happens when you're cooking with that sort of heat source is you're going to end up burning your base before your top's cooked. So you need to put in some sort of diffuser underneath the whatever you're cooking. Now I've got myself a little pizza stone that I've got out of the Ozpig, and I've also got, your Webers do these little aluminium heat diffusers. So I've got that little aluminium heat diffuser down, then I've got my little stone on top, and then I was using like a cooling rack, and then I'll sit the Pavlova on that cooling rack under the hood of the Weber, and it just allows that heat to dissipate from underneath and around and give more even cook. It's worked with cakes and whatnot, so I can't see why it won't work with a Pav. The only thing I can envisage being a problem is it cooling too quickly. So when you use an oven at home with cooking your meringues and that, the idea is to, once it's finished cooking, You literally just turn your oven off, crack the oven, and just let it cool nice and slowly to let it dry out. I don't know how well it's going to work with the Weber, but we'll find out. If it's a bit cracked and whatnot, don't matter. It's still going to taste alright. I'll just cover the crap out of it with whipped cream and everything else. As you can see, they're starting to get quite glossy, and I'm sort of halfway through me sugar. And the idea is you're trying to dissolve that sugar. I can actually still hear it's a little bit grainy along the bowl, so. Now all you need to do to test the meringue, just have it feel between your fingers. And obviously that's, if you can feel the sugar between your fingers, keep on beating. Okay, that's looking pretty good. That's really good. Right. So from here, we're going to add, this is my little container of white vinegar. So I'm going to add a teaspoon. White vinegar, a tablespoon of corn flour, and you just want to gently incorporate this. Alright, so one of my pizza trays, works as good as any. I just chuck a little bit of spray on the bottom of the tray, helps to stick the paper, stop it from moving around too much. Beautiful, right. Now I just need to get all this in the tray. Now try to, it is going to spread a little bit as it cooks, so you don't want to go right to the edge of the tray. And I'll try to round me edges. If you go too straight on the edges, it tends to collapse in the guts and but in reality, however it cooks, it's going to be fine. Like, it can crack, it can do what it likes. It's still a meringue, it's still a pav. You know, cover it in whipped cream and all the other goodies. You know, raspberries, strawberries. And the GoPro just went dead. So somehow I flicked that. The Weber's sitting on 170. So you can see my little setup there. Got a little diffuser tray. And I say you can buy them in like packs at like Bunnings and wherever, I suppose. Not sure where I got these. But I'll just sit that over there like so. All happy like. Now aiming for about 110 once it cools down a bit. Most much like gas still. Yep, gas is still going there, so I'll check back soon, see how she's going. So I ended up cooking it for 2 hours. It's been about 3 hours since I turned the barbie off, so it's nice and dry, it hasn't dropped. So I'll give that a bit of a topping tomorrow morning and she'll be all good. Hiya! So it is Boxing Day, and as it turned out we had that many desserts and whatnot, and everyone was pretty darn full. I didn't bother serving it up yesterday, so I thought I'd do it today and have it for, you know, a bit of afternoon tea. So I've got myself some whipped cream, or I've got myself some cream here, and a little bit of vanilla essence and tiny little bit of caster sugar. You don't want too much caster sugar because obviously the pav itself has got you know, sugar in it anyway, so just a tiny little bit just to jazz it up a bit. Aldi whisk. Now this thing is portable. I haven't used it before, brand spanking new. I've just charged it up, and as I say, it cost me, I think it was about 19-20 bucks. So I thought I'd give it a crack and see if it'll do the job. It's portable with a little USB charger. I think you double tap on the back here and it should fire up. There she goes. Look out. Yeah, it certainly goes fast enough. That's flat out. You can adjust it down. Right, that's on 3. What we'll do there. Comes with a couple of other little attachments as well. A little chopper and that. I honestly don't know if it's going to be strong enough to work as a chopper, but time will tell. That's certainly thickening up. There you go. Like I say, a little bit of work. Now you'll see that it has collapsed a tiny little bit, about yay much on the top there, but it's really nice and spongy underneath. So, like all good things, cover it with some whipped cream and a few decorations, and you'll never know the difference. Now when it comes to decorations with a Pav, it's totally up to you what you want to use. For me, I like to use raspberries and some strawberries. And an old favourite I've always used is some peppermint crisp. Don't have to do that, but I've even got a little bit of grated up Toblerone there. Emily made a Bailey's chocolate cheesecake, which doesn't taste too bad either. Probably need to do that one day. I'll sprinkle a bit of that over there too. I've got some passion fruit pulp. Just that little bit of sharpness, you know, to help with the sweetness of the Pav. It's all a balancing act. Now another thing I did also, like with the leftover egg yolks, I made a custard. Don't lick knives. It's all about taste testing though. Tastes good. Yeah, so anyway, whipped cream done. We'll put it to the side there for a sec. So I'm just going to do some strawberries and raspberries first. They don't look too bad still. I'm just going to, I've cut the green bits off, make them a little bit smarter. I like to just fan them a bit, so the idea here is just sort of cut through the top and just not reach the bottom, so you can just spread them out a bit. Like that. This makes it a little bit more fancy on the Pav. I'll chuck them like that. Oh, there's one left over. Right. I'll let it over hot. I've seen all sorts of things out of these over the years, pineapple and mango, all different types of fruit. Banana, another popular one. I'll say, just use flavours that you like. Oh, that one feels a little bit, it tastes right. A couple of these got a bit squashed in the fridge, I think. I just realised I've got another 2 punnets of strawberries in the fridge there. Right, so I'll now add the finishing touches. of passion fruit pulp. And so this is all optional, whatever you like. Like so. This Toblerone from yesterday. Bit of peppermint crisp. There's a very easy way of breaking this up. The other half's still perfectly fine. And just a little bit of grated Toblerone over the top. And you can just use normal chocolate, whatever. Had the Toblerone there, so why not? And there we have my Weber Pav. Now, could quite easily do it in the camp oven. What I failed to show in the cooking process with this, if I didn't explain it properly, I'd better explain it again. With the Weber, I ended up just lifting the lid a tiny little bit, just wedging it open. It's all about temperature control. So you're aiming for a slow cook. You're trying to dry it out without burning it. So I just wedged the lid open a tiny little bit with what I use a pair of tongs near the end there, just so you sort of maintain around that sort of 110 degree mark, 115. And once it's finished cooking, turn everything off and just let it cool down completely in the oven. Whether you're doing it at home or whatever, you need to allow it to cool down in the oven without being disturbed. Now, same deal would be with the camp oven. If I was using camp oven, and I'll do it one day, I'll give it. It's been a long time since I've done it. Is a bit of fencing wire. Now, fencing wire is great when you need to let the steam escape out of your camp oven. So just do a little bit of an S bend, and you just sort of chuck them over, say 3 of them on your camp oven. They'll just lift that lid up to allow that steam and heat to escape, which is what you really need when you're doing like a meringue. So yeah, it's another good tip too when you're doing your pork crackle. Yeah, so you can let the steam escape so it doesn't make your pork crackle all chewy. As it dry out. So yeah. Anyway, I'll grab the missus. We'll cut a piece of this each, and we'll give it a try. Now, as you can see, that meringue is cooked lovely inside. It's nice and thick. Got a nice crust on the outside. Got to be happy with that. Yucky?
Yummo.
Terrible?
Absolutely awesome. Perfect.
Not bad. Not bad. The thing to remember here too is don't go too silly with sugar in your whipped cream. It doesn't need, you can really get away with putting any in if you want to. There's enough sweetness going on the top there and with the meringue underneath. But that meringue now, that's what would that be? That's 2 days since it was made, and it's got a good crusty shell on it, and it's pillowy soft in the middle. And yeah, if you can keep the thing that kills a pav or meringue is humidity. So in the dry conditions, not a problem. And yeah, just store it in an airtight container once it's completely cooled. That's the secret. Make sure that when you turn that oven off that you let it cool completely, and that way it dries it right out. If you try and store it too early, it'll still steam a bit, and then it'll almost start to melt. Now just imagine all that crust on the outside is from the sugar, and it will start to melt on you. And one of the worst things with pabs is once you put your toppings on, you really need to consume them straight away, because the longer it is, the more it'll start to just melt away. So, good excuse to just annihilate it. But yeah, these outside bits are nice and crunchy. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you've all had a lovely Christmas, and I'll see you in the next one. If you haven't already, subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. And click the like button. And yeah, until next time, thanks for watching. I'll catch you later. Come on.